Hi guys, good morning, good morning. It's yours truly, Carl Ellis here, the Voice of Healing. Hope you're all doing well. It's such a blessing to be here today. A different format, absolutely. Today is a day that should be blessed every single day. First of all, I want to wish you all a beautiful week ahead. It's going to be amazing for you. I truly believe you are going to absolutely love every single moment of this week. Yeah, and whoever's watching it, I pray that you get blessed and you get so much going on in your life. Today, very quickly, I want to talk very quickly about, the way London, the UK is going at the moment. It's not a pretty sight. You hear a lot of things going on. And for me, what's important is really the UK and how we are as a collective, our mindsets, our hearts, our minds, our souls, and where we are going. What does the future hold for the UK? Now, we now are under the wonderful arms of Keir Starmer, which, for all intents and purposes, I would rather choose somebody else. But we have him at the time being. Now, we see this taxing of working class people, like on every purchase, everything they do, they're being taxed on. The prices in the UK have gone rocket high, and the wages are not reflecting that. So what do we do in a situation like this? Now, it affects everything with people as it pertains to mental health, as it pertains to how they feel, as it pertains to the social aspects of the people in the UK. Now, I can only speak for the people in the UK and Germany, of course, because I've lived there and I still live there. It's so wonderful. But taxing people on every single purchase, I just think it's wrong. And I totally believe that things need to be more transparent. Okay? Things need to be more transparent. People who are entrepreneurs, people who want to do amazing things, people who are creative thinkers in the UK, for me, they should be pushed to the forefront. They should be allowed to take chances, and we should back them. We should back those people who are entrepreneurs, who want to build the UK, want to make the UK strong again, make the economy strong again. Do you know what I mean? Bring morale back into the UK. We should really be supporting those small entrepreneurs. And we're going to be having a dinner at some point with, men. Really, I love to talk to men as we come together. I think that's very important, so we can bring forth our ideas collectively and work with each other and bounce ideas of each other as to how we can really build the economy and the small businesses in the UK. England is such a beautiful place, and it's such a broad place full of history, rich history as well, which I believe that, tourists can come and appreciate, come for a little while, of course. Now, the things of making everything so expensive, it just makes no sense. Now, if I was a leader of a constitution or a party, rather, I would be saying, okay, well, you know what? Perhaps I need to take a little bit down, my wages down, cut everything else, cut spending, cut all this kind of stuff, and then implement a system where the prices automatically go down. I'm not in politics, but I feel that would be the best way. Instead of having short-sighted schemes and policies that really don't really affect us in the long term or the short term. Right now, people are struggling for rent. I go on LBC, I look at the people who are complaining. They are talking about real life issues. And the people there just sitting down like, oh, yes, well, we don't believe that. Yeah, well, really, are you talking about everybody? Now, the fact is, this is one person who has a voice. And a lot of the times it seems, seemingly, that these voices are not being heard, that they either been labelled as, homophobic or anti-Semitic or racist or things like that nature. And I think that is totally wrong. Now, healthcare, what are we doing with the NHS? It's overburdened, but still we are having these issues and still allowing the things that we're talking about that's causing a problem to still happen. So what do we do about it? How do we deal with that? How do we deal with it? Because all of that affects all of us and how we live our lives and how we communicate and interact with each other. Because whether you like it or not, this is a multicultural society, right? And to be honest with you, pluralism, multiculturalism, two of the same sides of the same coin. You know what I mean? But as the truth is, we really have to learn to understand that, for me personally, as a man of faith, I feel that that is the separation from the wheat and the chaff. We need to know who is for us and who is against us and who's grateful. The most important thing is being grateful for your life, being grateful for the opportunities afforded you here in the UK. Home energy, look, the bills, water bills, electricity bills, the television license. My goodness, they're trying to tax us through the teeth and ears and everything else. And to be honest with you, it just brings the morale of people down. Now, what does that affect? That affects people's relationships with another. It then turns into survival. Well, then we know, really, with survival comes, them and us. Yeah, because you're not like us, and so we need to survive. And there's not enough to go around. Apparently not. So, what do? They sit back, the politicians, they sit back and they watch. They watch us. And this is why, with the Voice of Healing, I believe it's so important that knowledge is power. To be able to accumulate the correct knowledge, not knowledge that's been perpetrated, propagandized by the media for us to swallow, digest, and regurgitate in a negative manner. No, it's for us to really come together and to understand that a particular kind of knowledge is power for us. Now, we can take part of what we can control. So I truly believe that we have the power. We have the power to take over this system. Like, for example, I went into Tesco's and I saw Tesco's was, the prices of some of their foods was like so expensive. Like, you can't imagine. Like, a piece of beef was like £25. Are you kidding me? £25 for a piece of beef, and it was really small. And I thought to myself, wow, this is really taking the piddle. Because if at the end of the day we all, and this is where I say we have the power, if we all went from Tesco's, boycotted Tesco's, and went to something else and another company, their prices would go down. They'd be forced to bring their prices down, because at the end of the day, everyone should take a cut. Everyone is having, a little bit of a heavy winter, and I totally believe that everyone should bear the burden of the economic problems that we're having at the moment, particularly these supermarket chains, and then we can work on that, because people need to eat every day. People need a health sector really to be cleaned up. We certainly need that. And we need more doctors. We need more lawyers. We need more people who are entrepreneurs, people who are engineers, who are working to build the UK. I'm so for the UK because I believe that the UK is one of the most accepting, wonderful countries in the world. You go to other places, you'll realise how accepting this place is. I went to certain places, and to be honest with you, it leaves a little to be desired, right? Taxes, I believe, from our government should be transparent. There should be, I heard printing money was the thing in the time of the Big C, 2019 onwards. Printing money. And then who has to pay back? Who bears the burden? Us. We bear the burden of it. And so for me, we have to really come together as a people. Now, like I said before, I'm speaking for the people. And to be honest with you, the Voice of Healing is where I spoke to a lot of men, which has it's fueled my passion really to push this movement forward. Because this movement, the Voice of Healing, we're not talking about, Oxford trained and educated people. No, we're talking about people who are on the ground, who understand what is going on. Not like our HRH, who really doesn't even know what the day it is as it pertains to the people suffering in the UK. Now, it's a battlefield of the minds, and they're feeding our minds with all different kinds of stuff. And so I would say to you, feed your mind with good stuff, with things that really pertain to your health and that's going to build you and your family. That's what you need to do first of all. and join us really on the Voice of Healing. We really have a wonderful panel of people that we are going to be discussing with and talking to. The podcast, you can see it on Linktree / Carla Bellis. That's a Linktree / Carla Bellis. It's going to be fantastic, right? One last thing I want to say is that we have clones. We have clones here. Now, what does he talk about this? Okay. I'm not going to speak it out because I don't want to get blocked or banned or, labeled as anything. But there are particular people who are 100% cloning you. Okay. So in terms of, how you act, how you speak, your mannerisms, the way you do your hair, the way you do your makeup, they're cloning you, and they are not really a part of you. They have their own agenda, building their own things. But I want to just say this, guys, that I think it's very important that we do come together in love, and we spread love, and we love ourselves most of all. Love of thyself is the key point I'm making in all of this jargon. So I wish you guys a beautiful day. Be blessed. Yours, Carl Ellis.